Before the arena, before the blood, there was a quiet night in a silent garden, and nothing would ever be the same again. The air in the imperial gardens was thick with the scent of night-blooming jasmine, while the distant rhythm of armored footsteps echoed across stone. In the shadows of marble pillars stood Darius, a man shaped by blood and survival, a warrior who did not belong among statues that never bled or silence that hid too much.
Rome had carved him into something dangerous, something useful, something less than human, yet even in a city of stone, something soft dared to exist. She came quietly, not like a prisoner, but like the only living thing in a dying empire. Aurelia stepped into the moonlight, and the night itself seemed to pause as her gaze fell upon the fresh wound on his arm, a mark of violence that defined his world. And in that moment, the man who feared nothing stood still beneath the weight of something unfamiliar.
Because in a world built on brutality, even the gentlest touch felt like defiance. Rome had given Darius strength, scars, but it had never given him a choice. To the emperor, he was not a man, but a weapon, a symbol forged for the crowd and discarded when the blood dried. But Aurelia saw what Rome refused to see, the man beneath the armor, and that made her dangerous, because hope in a place like Rome was the most dangerous thing of all. She carried whispers of escape, of fire spreading in the north, of guards stretched thin and a narrow path to freedom waiting beyond the city's reach. It was a fragile dream, built on aspiration, and to Darius it sounded like something the world would never allow. Yet somewhere between fear and longing, he allowed himself to imagine it, a life where his name was not shouted by crowds demanding blood, but spoken softly by one voice, a life where he was not forced to fight, but finally allowed to live.
Stone and shadow stood a boy born into power and raised without mercy. The prince did not see Darius as others did, not with fear, not with ration, but with a quiet and dangerous hunger. Where the world saw a weapon, he saw a challenge, a question waiting to be answered, a curiosity that could not be ignored. Below, Darius felt it, not through sound or movement, but through instinct, the silent warning that danger was near. Because men
like him understood a truth others did not, that the greatest threats do not announce themselves. They watch, they learn, and they wait for the perfect moment to strike.
The night was fading, and with it, the fragile illusion of time. Dawn would bring the arena and beginning of something far worse than death. Aurelia feared it, not because of the battle, but because of what it would take from him. Because Rome did not simply kill men. It erased them piece by piece until nothing remained but the monster it demanded. And still, Shivarchi held on to him, not by violence, but the man still fighting to exist beneath it. She did not hope for victory or even survival, but for something far more fragile, that when the world demanded a killer, he would remember he was once human. Darius made no promise, because he understood what that awaited him in the arena, a truth that could not be escaped, that the arena does not test strength, it reveals it, and by sunrise Rome would discover exactly what it had created. And in that moment the crowd would fall silent, not in fear of the man before them, but in awe of what refused to break. Because some warriors are not forged by Rome, they are revealed in spite of it.